Órale, Cholo Truck, los tres chingones boxing shots, all the chingones y chingonas. All right, so a fight that took place over the weekend that not a lot of people knew about. It was Fernando Vargas Jr. stepping into the ring against Jesus Gonzalez. Now, this fight took place pretty damn late. It happened in Long Beach. Shouts to Longo, shouts to the harbor area. Um, I know Raul Lizarga was in the undercard, but we went ahead and we watched this fight, right? So I know there was a lot of other fights going on Saturday as well. We'll get to those on the live show, but I want to focus on this one here. Not too many people knew about it. And I was gonna watch it regardless for two reasons. One, it was on after all the fights, right? It started like at 9 o'clock or something. It was late. Um, am I a big fan of Fernando Vargas Jr.? No. Emiliano, that's a different story. I think that kid can actually become something. The other Vargas kids, not so much. But another cool little thing here is that his opponent, Jesus Gonzalez, um, works with my sons. So no, they're not homies. They don't know each other like that. They don't kick it with each other. But yeah, they work at the same spot, right? So, my sons were rooting for him, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna root for him too, right? And I'm like, do you guys know him? And they're like, nah, not really, man. We kind of see him every now and then, but no, we don't know him or anything like that. So it's like they're gonna root for him, and I'm like, yeah, I'll root for him too, man. I don't have any allegiance to Fernando Vargas Jr., right? Like, all right, Holmes, let's see what was popping here, man, right? So Gonzalez was giving Vargas everything he can handle, man. And this dude, Jesus Gonzalez, he is 7-3. Okay, 7 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw, right? Where Fernando Vargas Jr., I think he's like 16-0. So this was a pretty damn good competitive fight. I thought Gonzalez had a really good chance of winning this fight. The problem is that there was a clash of heads. As you guys can see, the gash on Vargas's forehead, there was a unintentional clash of heads, and it didn't look like it was really getting in his eyes. But then again, it's coming down the middle of his nose, so it can get into his eyes. And it looked like it was starting to get pretty rough in there for Fernando Vargas, man. I was thinking maybe Jesus Gonzalez, maybe he could have even scored a stoppage. I don't know. We'll never know. I don't want to make it seem like he was dominating the fight because he wasn't. Fernando Vargas was definitely giving it to him as much as he was getting it as well. But it was a pretty good, decent back and forth fight, man. But because of the blood, they went ahead and they stopped the fight in the fifth round. I believe it was the fifth round, um, taking it to the scorecards. And of course, they're not gonna give it to a guy who is 7-3, all right, who works at FedEx. Um, do I think he was winning the fight? Um, man, it was close. Man, it was close. I don't want to say oh it was a robbery because no, but it was a good competitive fight, and he was calling for a rematch. Now I'm gonna tell you guys this, man. I don't think Vargas is gonna give him a rematch. For one, not a lot of people even knew this fight was going on. So this is just gonna kind of fade off. This is not gonna be, in the limelight. I don't hear anybody talking about this. Nobody. So if Fernando Vargas Jr. knows that, hey, nobody's talking about it, it's like, well, it never happened then. Unless somebody goes and looks at box rec or something of that sort, man, nobody even cares. Nobody's gonna notice it. It's like it never happened in the boxing world. But I kind of want to shed a little bit of light on it because I think he should give Homeboy a rematch. I think Homeboy should run it back with them, definitely. I mean, there in the crowd, people were clamoring for a rematch. When he brought up the word rematch, everybody started cheering, like, yeah, yeah, let's do it again. But because there was little to no eyeballs on this, I don't think there's going to be any pressure on Fernando Vargas Jr. to get back into the ring against, Gonzalez, who works at FedEx. I don't think he's gonna give it to him, man. He should, in all honesty, he should. And this time around, I think it'd be a bigger matchup. But nonetheless, man, did anybody get a chance to catch this fight? And what was your guys' thoughts? Again, I'm not saying that Jesus Gonzalez won the fight or that he was winning this fight, but man, he was right there. He was right there. I haven't, if it wasn't for that clash of heads, who knows what would have happened. And do you think Vargas Jr. is going to give him a rematch? It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. There's no upside for Vargas Jr. to give this guy a rematch. So what? So you could go in there and, maybe beat him, or if people already think like, hey, I don't think you won. So there's just no upside for Vargas Jr. And like I said, nobody saw it. Nobody cared. So nobody's raising an eyebrow because nobody even knows that this fight happened. But it did. Oh, it did. You guys let me know what's your thoughts. Cholo Trucker, Los Tres Chingones Boxing. Shout out to all the chingones and chingonas. Catch you guys on next round.